So will Carl get his famous Negan storyline? Now obviously this will contain spoilers for the comics and potentially some storylines for Carl in season 7, as well as how this storyline affects other characters. So I just want to make sure you guys are all aware of that. Okay, let's jump right in. In the comics, Carl Grimes has a pretty famous storyline regarding Negan. It's one of his biggest story arcs to date, and I'm saying one of because he does have a few. After the death of Glenn, and remember, in the comics, only Glenn died, not Abraham, although he is dead, but he did die a totally different way, like much earlier. But after Glenn's death, Carl wanted to get revenge on Negan. He was pretty fast in coming up with this idea. He actually agrees with Andrea, who, as we know, has been long dead in the show. So this may actually be Michonne who takes this role and who does agree with Carl. But they both do agree that they should show the Saviors that they aren't to be fucked with. Also, when Negan comes to take half his shit, Carl threatens him and says, "You'll soon realize how dangerous we are." Negan laughs it off, actually liking the rebellious attitude in this kid, and then leaves. Carl sneaks and hides under the mattress in one of their trucks, and in doing so, sneaks into the sanctuary. Now, I haven't watched tonight's episode yet, obviously, but that may or may not happen tonight. If not tonight, then I'm thinking in next week's episode. I guess I will see. I really doubt they're going to give up this storyline that I'm going to give to you right away. I mean, we already seen from the premiere and the season 6 finale that Negan's taking a liking to Carl, so it will probably happen. As Carl enters the sanctuary, when they open that truck door, he shoots almost every Savior that was in the area. Not like all the Saviors, just the ones that were in the area, killing them all. But sadly, Carl gets beaten by Dwight and is taken hostage by Negan. This is where the Carl and Negan storyline takes place. Negan actually takes a liking to Carl, which I do think is going to happen. We've seen it before. Negan says to Carl that he will still punish him, but he really does want to mentor him in the ways of the Saviors. While he looks into Carl's eyes, he says, "You're going to become a little serial killer," a line we've actually heard from Negan before, so that's why I do believe that moment was foreshadowing this moment. While Carl was at the sanctuary, he was brought into Negan's personal headquarters. We actually got to see that in last week's episode. There's a lot of fighting going on between Negan and Amber and Sherry here, so I do wonder if Carl will get to see Sherry. Most likely, I do think Carl will actually see Daryl as well, which will be pretty amazing. I don't think it will be that amazing though, I mean, because Carl will probably see Daryl in tonight's episode, so it's not like they were away from each other for so long, right? But while inside, Negan and Carl talk about sex and other stuff like that. He tells Carl, "You know what? I cannot speak to you anymore like this. No, I'm going to need you to take off your hat and bandage." Carl declines. Negan gets pretty pissed and threatens Carl, and basically Carl disagrees and he does it. Negan just stares at Carl's eyeless face, if that's even how you would say it. Eyeless eye, face with no eye, half a side of face with crazy mutilated skin missing, I don't know. But regardless, Negan just torments Carl, bullying him about his appearance. He asks Carl, "Have you ever looked into a mirror?" Negan also comments on how he can see right through his skull, like through his missing eye socket. Negan even asks to touch his eye. This makes Carl cry. Negan then apologizes and says it's so easy to forget that you're just a kid, but then he's interrupted by a savior that gives him Lucille. There's actually a pretty funny moment that happens here. Like, Negan asks the savior if he treats Lucille like he treats a lady. Like, does he eat her pussy like a lady? The savior is all confused, and Negan just laughs, saying, "I'm just messing with you. Baseball bats don't have pussies." So before leaving, Negan says, "Well, obviously I gotta punish you. That's just how it works. Sing me a song." This isn't the way he punishes him, though, but he just wants that in order to think of a way to punish him. Carl says he does not know any songs, but Negan insists. So Carl sings "You Are My Sunshine," and as he's doing so, Negan's swinging his bat dangerously close to Carl, but then after the song, Negan's happy. He actually asks if Carl's mother, Lori, ever sang that song to him, and asks if Carl's mother is still alive. Carl doesn't reply, but Negan correctly guesses that she did die. Negan is interrupted again and is told that the iron is ready, so then they all just leave. Carl watches and holds Lucille as Negan's pressing the iron against Mark's face. It's actually pretty gross. Apparently it looks like melted cheese. You can only imagine what happened to Dwight. But then there is some back and forth between Negan and Carl, but ultimately Negan just takes Carl home, but is caught by Rick as they were showing up to the sanctuary to find Carl. Negan, pretty pissed about this, mind fucks with Rick again about what he may or may not have done to Carl. I mean, could you imagine Rick's face? Like, Negan's actually pretending he did something so monstrous that causes Rick to freak out and headbutt him. This causes a fight, but in the end Negan laughs and says Carl's okay. But that's pretty much that storyline. Afterwards they go their separate ways. I really do think that it will happen this season pretty fast. I think the All Out War series will be happening very soon. Like, this is a kind of a precursor to that, so I do think it's happening very soon. If you guys want to know what happened in the All Out War series, just go check out my videos. I do have a video on that. But if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.